So here's another point that I'm going to use to defend my position of him being the GOAT, right? No stats, none of that. If you really analyze Tom Brady's career, he's had 3 Hall of Fame careers. 3.
Yeah.
You can make a case from 01, well, you could rookie. So 2000 to 2006, you can make that case that he's got a Hall of Fame career there. Even when they didn't win the Super Bowl and they lost twice to the Giants, 07 to 2013, you can make another case because of his statistics. And he blew his knee out one year, but that's another Hall of Fame career by itself. There's dudes in the Hall of Fame that don't even have those type of accolades that he racked up between 7 and 13. And then obviously the last half of his career was just unbelievable. Where like his first Super Bowl, you could kind of tie that to a very strong defense. And don't get me wrong, he played well, but he played out of his effing mind from 2014 until he retired. I mean, crazy. What do you think about that?
No, I do. I mean, I think that's great. And now today, with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, like you're seeing Mahomes' numbers are better than I mean, and that's, the game is changing. But these guys are growing up. I mean, Tom Brady, who was his favorite quarterback growing up and watching play? It was Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
So you're seeing,
cool, baby.
Yeah.
So now you heard my argument for 3 Hall of Fame careers in one career for Tom Brady. How many Hall of Fame careers do you think that Joe Montana had? I'll give you your answer. 1. 14 seasons with the 49ers. And it was a magnificent career. Joe Cool, if you're watching this, brother, don't think I'm shading you at all, dude, because I recognize that you are a total badass. In 1981, the drive is one of the best moments I've ever seen in football. It was totally badass. And the catch in 1986 was unbelievable, too. But you had 1 Hall of Fame career. He had the opportunity in Kansas City to make a 2nd Hall of Fame career, but he couldn't do it. But Tom Brady has done it 3 times.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that. You know, everybody knows that Tom Brady was going to go to the Hall of Fame. Like that's a given. The man deserves it. But when I think of somebody that's a GOAT, like a flat out GOAT, I'm thinking about somebody that's a role model for some of these high school students that I was coaching and that would go on to play college football. You know, if you got these things that are hanging over your head because you made some mistakes and you don't clean it up, you know. That stuff's got to be considered as well. You know? I
don't know, man. I don't. Sometimes like character, I think is taken out of context, and you know, I try not to be too critical on people unless like they're just flat out like just weird and just real serious things. But you know, guys that you know this whole role model thing and saying you know that he's not a good role model because you know was caught up in Deflategate or you know I had a New York Jets fan a few years ago tell me that he was a POS because he had a child out of wedlock with that actress Bridget something. His first child. Yeah. So she was saying he was a scumbag because of that. And it's like, Jesus, man, like look within yourself, really. Like, why would you throw stones from a glass house like that? Like, I'm not perfect. He's not perfect.
No, we don't expect anybody to be perfect, but we do. At least we should hold these guys to a higher standard. You know, they're role models. You know, they're supposed to be. In my opinion, held to a higher standard, just to where they're at in life. You know, somebody's got to set the example for some of these kids, especially a lot of these fatherless kids that don't have anybody at home to help them out and guide them in the right direction of what they're supposed to do and what they're supposed to look like. You know, how things are supposed to look. But you know, it's one of those things. I'll never take that away from Tom Brady that he's a great QB, but you know, my personal opinion. He's got to basically set the bar a little bit higher on himself. And the crazy thing about that is, and trust me, I understand, is when people start finding success, especially as much success as Tom Brady has had, you know, people are going to be more critical of you. They're going to criticize you a lot more. And I understand that. But at the same time, you know, did Joe Montana did he ever deflate the balls so that, you know, was he ever accused of doing such?
I mean, the evolutionist media, social media, you know, you got everybody with the mouthpiece down there, you know, guys just flat out, dude. I really think that the Patriots just kind of had a target in their back because they had such a sustained amount of success for so long, and people are just looking to take them down. You know, whether it was Spygate, whether it's Deflategate, whether it's, you know, saying that, you know, they did something else. I read this thing about this saying like they were bugging locker rooms and stuff like that. I mean, come on, man, like go out there and play the game.
Yeah, well, a lot of that is, I think, teams jabbing each other because they want to be the top dog. You see a lot of it. You take with a grain of salt. It's just people jabbing. But the whole, I don't think that. Do I think that they were spying Bill Belichick? Yeah, I think that it was just like the Houston Astros, a couple of years ago in their World Series.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, bang it. If you're not trying to find a way to, if a coach isn't trying to do that, it's obviously got to remain within the legal bounds. But if you're not trying to, find an edge on your opposing team, you're probably not doing your job. In all honesty.
To an extent. I mean, there was a letter sent out, and I won't get it down to a huge Spygate rabbit hole, because we're time constrained. But I'll just say this: that a memo was sent out by the NFL to say stop the practice of doing it because they knew that a lot of teams were doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, Bill Belichick didn't stop. And when Mr. Kraft called him out and said, "Hey, like this big fine that we're going to lose a draft pick," he's like, "How much of an edge did it actually give us doing what you did?" And Bill Belichick was like, "Hardly anything." And that was validated by legendary head coaches like Jimmy Johnson when they used to be standard practice across the league, saying like it doesn't really do much for you, but he continued to do it, ego, arrogance, whatever. But then Mr. Kraft called him a schmuck and said, don't do, we're not going to do that anymore. But Spygate has nothing to do with the players. Nothing to do. It has everything to do with the coaches. So like, and again, I'm not saying you said this, but I've seen this before where people hold that against Tom Brady. Like Spygate had nothing to do with that amazing defense they had for 4 years. Corey Dillon running the rock, Tom Brady throwing balls, to guys that were good receivers, but they weren't great. Deion Branch, David Gibbons, Troy Brown, solid guys, but they're not friggin' Randy Mosses. They're not, Justin Jefferson guys like that. And Tom Brady's out there winning Super Bowls with those dudes.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that's what I mean. Like he's an accurate. I mean, the only QB that I think I've seen that is more accurate than Tom Brady is Aaron Rodgers, and he doesn't have the rings. He's a very accurate man. I think he's another great quarterback. I love watching QB sling the ball. Yeah. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers could pick apart a defense the way that Tom Brady did.
Let's do this. Let's let the viewers kind of look at a little bit of footage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a little bit of footage of Joe Montana. Then I'm going to upload a little bit of footage with Tom Brady. We're going to watch them sling the ball a little bit. And then we'll reconvene here in a minute after the audience watches that. And then, we'll let them, chime in the comments and see what they think.
Yeah, all right. You make sure you put on Joe Montana's best moments.
I will put, I will. Here we go. Best moments. Josh, come on, man. Straight up, dude. Like, I got it. Video was a little bit grainier back then, but I'm telling you, like, Brady's throws and smoke Joe Montana's. I'm sorry.
Well, we got a bias here.
So do you. You got a bias.
Absolutely. Because there's no wide receiver out there that could compare to Jerry Rice, and his one-handed catches. And so, that's part of my bias. That's why I'll never let anybody say Tom Brady's the GOAT.
All right, I'll accept that. I'll just hang my hat saying the winningest quarterback of all time, the most statistically accomplished quarterback of all time, 7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, and by the way, 3-time NFL MVP. Those are things that Joe Montana did not accomplish. And I tell you, man, like, Tom Brady is it. Sorry, man, you ain't going to talk me out of it.
Joe Montana is the GOAT.
He's the original GOAT. He's been dethroned. All right, Josh. Hey, man, it's Thursday night, brother.
Yeah, we got football time.
Brother, we got the Chiefs and Lions kicking off here in about 45 minutes. So let's get through a couple quick things. So now that we're done talking about the two retired guys, you think is the best quarterback in the game today?
Oh, bar none, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love watching Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Joe Burrows, Tua, at the with the Dolphins. Some of the I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to throw up numbers. Whether or not he can get as many Super Bowl rings as Tom Brady will be extremely tough. But it's just like before. Everybody said it wouldn't. It's impossible to catch. 10 Super Bowls, Otto Graham had it. And, back in the 40s and 50s, he had 10 championships. And so you see Tom Brady do it. So I don't like to, I guess, kind of put anybody down, but it's always possible. And you always like to see guys strive and teams strive to reach that greatness that what you see.
Yeah. What scares me about Mahomes is his ability to stay healthy. He has so far. But you saw that he's been limping around a little bit more and getting banged up more because he plays on the scramble, and that really concerns me. The only way he's ever going to have a chance, to ever be in the conversation with Tom Brady is going to be to stay healthy. Brady was healthy for 22 out of 23 seasons.
Yeah,
crazy regime,
Tom Brady, the way he ate, it was healthy. Nobody could take that away from him.
The way he trained and all that. But
I think you'll start seeing a lot more QBs kind of pay attention to what he done, how he's able to take care of his body for so long. Yeah. So you'll start seeing a lot more of it. It just may take a little bit of time.
I would say I don't really have any analytical data to back this up or anything, but I think the best quarterback in the league right now today is Joe Burrow.
Really? Why?
There's just something about that dude, man. He just clutch throws, just finds the guys that are open, just cool under pressure. I like his leadership, on the field. What I see on the field, I just really, really like what Joe Burrow does in the field. But Mahomes has got the rings. Mahomes has got, 4 straight AFC championship games. And it's going to be tough. So that's a good follow-up now to, kind of to wrap this up a little bit. So 2023 season will be upon us in about 40 minutes. So lot of that. I'd like to know, from a football fanatic like yourself, who do you see coming out of the AFC, the NFC, and then who's going to take it all? Because this is going to be on YouTube and we'll be able to revert back to it.
Oh boy. So you're going to hold me accountable. No, I think you'll see another Chiefs Super Bowl win. What
about the health?
Can you
I'm throwing it out 5 years in a row with health. Chris Jones, friggin' kind of on the sideline. Kelsey's already out week 1. No more Juju. Hardeman's gone too.
No, you'll see that, and that's one of the great things I like about Mahomes is his ability to hit different targets. It doesn't. Yeah. Preseason football, he's got it already figured out. But
he's an amazing athlete. The things he can do on the field. Be truthful with you, I've never seen before. I've never seen dudes look the other way and just sling the ball on a friggin' line 45 degrees the other direction while looking the opposite direction. It just makes no sense. It defies all logic, and that guy does it. So I would never take away from his greatness on the field.
But as far as Travis Kelce goes, he's not playing tonight. But he hyperextended his knee, which is pretty common. So you won't see him this week. Most likely you'll see him in the next couple weeks anyways. As far as Chris Jones go, that guy I think was holding out and waiting. Did you see Nick Bosa's contract?
Yeah, it was huge. It was
5 years, $170 million. I mean, the guy's going to be making $34 million a year. What does that do for Chris Jones now? Yeah. And so we'll see.
He's leverage.
Yeah, and these guys, they got to make the money while they're young, because unless you're Tom Brady, you're not sticking around for 20 years. It's hard on the body. It really is.
So we got the Chiefs. Who on the NFC?
I'm looking for the Niners again.
Really?
I'd love to see the Niners and Chiefs Super Bowl.
You believe in Brock Purdy? You believe in Brock Purdy that much to go all the way to the Super Bowl?
Well, you were able to see what he did last year. Yeah, I mean, look at what that kid was able to accomplish. And the best part about it, you talked about Tom Brady and where he was, a 6th-round draft pick. Where was Brock Purdy at?
Yeah, was he like Mr. Irrelevant, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like dead last. Yeah. Dead last. Yeah. And look what he was able to accomplish. His rookie season. I think what he won 8 games.
Yeah. My thing is, like, you can do it for a season. And you're going with Kansas City to win it all again.
Oh yeah, a new
dynasty. So you're crowning a new dynasty right now.
Absolutely.
All right,
and we'll start to see if Mahomes can't get some of them Super Bowl rings that Tom Brady has.
Oh man, he's already got 2. He's well on his way. So all right, man. Hey, my picks on the record out of the AFC, no doubt. Write it down. Cincinnati Bengals. They're going, baby. They're going.
What happened to the Patriots?
They're going. Hey, we can talk about that at the end. No. So I'm going with Joe Cool, Joe Burrow, and the Bengals. Defense going to play a little bit better. Hendrickson coming off the edge, just wrecking friggin' dudes. They're going to run the football well. And then over there on the NFC side, this one's going to shock you. But I really think after watching Hard Knocks that Kirk Cousins is going to get over the hump.
You think so?
I do. I'm going with Minnesota.
It would be something to see. I mean, I've always had respect for Kirk Cousins, but I don't know if it's just the team culture that he's always played on, or what the issue has ever been. But he's always seemed to fall short and can't get over that hump. So it'll be.
I took a real liking to him watching that Hard Knocks. What a good dude. And I know that he gets a bad rap, for some of his play in clutch situations and not getting beyond, the 1 or 2 playoff games he's been in. But I tell you, man, I'm rooting for him just because he's a good person.
Yeah.
Good family, man.
Yeah. His family is they're pretty amazing.
Yeah. And my Super Bowl champion is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're gonna finally, win it all.
Well,
somebody's got to do it, right?
I'm glad this is being recorded. I'm so glad.
No. So back to your Patriots discussion, right? So I like where they're at. I do. But here's the problem, Josh. They got better weapons. I think that Mac Jones is going to play better this year. I love the fact that Bill O'Brien is back. They actually have a real offensive coordinator now. Here's the problem. And here's the thing that everybody overlooks about football, everybody that I know. Football is not won by the flashy wide receiver. Yes, it's won by the flashy quarterback to an extent, but the game is won in the trenches. Hands down. Defensive line and that offensive line, if they're strong, your team has a good chance to go really far. That is the foundation of your football team. And let me tell you something. New England's offense, their defensive line is great. Their offensive line is in disarray.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. They
are all fouled up, brother.
Yeah.
That worries me.
Well, it always worries somebody, but the first couple of weeks you're still trying to work out kinks on how things can work and go. It gives the coaches opportunities to, get new players in there if they need to make sure that they can have a winning season and a shot at the big game, the big dance. So it'll be fun to watch this year for sure, to see, because it is nice seeing the Cincinnati Bengals, bring it back together because. As far as I know, they've never won a Super Bowl.
No. been to 3 of them, I think, and they lost. They're 0 for 3.
I think as soon as Patrick Mahomes retires, I think they might be able to get one.
Oh, damn, man. Hey, Bengals fans out there, remember, hey, we got this. We got this.
You don't have any Bengals fans out there. There are a few far in between.
I actually know a couple. But, I would say my prediction for the Patriots will probably be about 7-10. If they can get the offensive line shored up, I think they could flip that number to 10-7. No problem. But
hard to get away from. I started coaching and then, of course, resigned to finish up my teaching degree. But there's a passion for it, and being able to see what some of these kids are capable of. Whether or not they want to continue on, try to make it to college level ball, or if they're ready to give it up and work and focus on something else. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to be standing on the sidelines, calling plays, making sure the kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing and just enjoying and having fun with the game.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's something that I miss right now, but after I graduate and finish my degree, maybe I'll find a school that needs another football coach.
Yeah. You had 2 successful years, and once you get done, taking care of your education, I hope you get back into it. 'Cause I know you're passionate about teaching, and you're passionate about football. So what a perfect combination, for you to go out there and plus, you're a Marine too, you get to give them that tough Marine love. I mean, you probably have the best football team in Kansas, brother.
Oh man, we struggled. We went from 8-man football to 6-man football, and I don't know if you ever heard of 6-man football, but it's huge down in Texas.
Yeah.
And so when we switched and went down to 6-man football, it's all about speed. If you've got speed, then you'll be good. But I happen to have an 8-man, 11-man line. I had some big boys; they didn't have any speed. But we still had fun with it. We learned a lot. And continue on, pushed on. So we weren't as successful as we'd like, but we try to fix things and come back and be better.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. Hey, man, we're getting close here. We're getting pushed up to a hard time, and I'm going to throw a spiral over to you for save rounds. Final thoughts, Josh.
Man, I appreciate you letting me come on. It's always fun to talk football with people that are just about just as passionate about the game as I am. And regardless of whoever we agree or disagree is the greatest of all time. But it's fun shared moments. That we miss being in the Marine Corps and jabbing one another. Yeah, and giving each other all kinds of shit about certain things. So I appreciate seeing you and getting the chance to talk to you again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And my save round for you, brother, is that Dan Coppin, who played offensive line for both the Colts and the Patriots, said that Peyton Manning didn't call as many of his own plays as Tom Brady did.
Is that right?
That's coming from the guy who's pitching him the ball. I'm just saying, no bias there. Hey man, it's been real, brother. And I wish you and your family the absolute best. And I look forward to keeping in touch with you. And I hope that your friends and your family enjoy this episode of you and I talking GOAT and football, a debate which I absolutely destroyed you on because you really have no argument besides the undefeated thing. Just saying,
he sucks.
See, now the truth's coming out. Hey, Josh, we're going to wrap it up for the evening, man. Again, thank you so much for coming on. To the viewers out there in the audience, hey, continue to press the gas in the life. Remember, be bold, be brave, be exceptional. And hey, let's have a great friggin' season. Root for your team, and let's go.
Let's be legendary.
That's right. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.